Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com, and in this video we are going to review the TD Bank Cash Credit Card. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already. And if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So every once in a while, under our videos in the comment section, someone says, why don't you review some of the lesser known credit cards, maybe from smaller banks or regional banks or whatever, and one of the cards that gets mentioned when we talk about cashback in particular is the TD Bank Cash Credit Card. So in this video, we are going to talk about it and see how it compares to some of the other cards on the market, especially those from the bigger card issuers. So let's do it. The TD Bank Cash Credit Card is a no annual fee Visa credit card that gives you cash back using the following formula. You get 3% cash back on dining purchases, 2% cash back on grocery store purchases, 1% cash back everywhere else. You can earn a $200 bonus if you spend $500 with the card in the first 90 days, which is attainable for most people. In terms of redeeming your rewards, you can earn your cash back in $25 increments, or at least you have to hit $25 before you can get the cash back, and you can take it as either a statement credit or as a deposit to your checking or savings account. If you're familiar with this channel at all, you probably know that we don't concentrate a lot on what the interest rates are that credit cards offer, because you should be paying your credit cards off in full every month. That said, the TD Bank card, as of the making of this video, offers interest rates in 3 potential tiers depending on your credit history: 15.24, 20.24, or 25.24, depending on where you fall in their assessment of your credit history. Now, 15.24 is a pretty good interest rate in today's market. 20 or 25, not great, although the credit card market in general is not great interest rates. So you'd be lucky to get that 15. The 20 is sort of par for the course. 25 is still fairly high. If you're not familiar with TD Bank, it is part of the larger TD group. So TD Bank are the banks here in the US. There's TD, or Toronto Dominion, up in Canada. TD Ameritrade is part of the group as well. In terms of the geography, it is East Coast here in the US, from Maine all the way down to Florida in terms of where the branches are, but you can qualify for TD's credit cards regardless of where you are geographically. So if you don't care if you have a branch nearby in terms of how it connects to the credit cards you have, then you could go after this TD Cash Card and not worry about it. So what do I think of the TD Bank Cash Credit Card? I think it is an okay credit card for someone that wants to hold just one card, wants to get some rewards in some common categories. 3% on dining is good, 2% on groceries is fine, 1% on everything else obviously is kind of the minimum standard as far as credit card rewards go. Now, if you were someone that was willing to hold multiple credit cards, I would say there are no annual fee credit cards on the market where you could do better in all the categories that we're looking at here. So you could hold something like the Uber Visa and get 4% on dining. You could hold the Blue Cash Everyday card and get 3% on your US grocery store purchases. So you can do better in the categories that are being offered with this card. However, again, if you just want one card that is going to give you a pretty good rate on multiple categories, this is not a bad choice. The credit card from a major bank that most resembles the TD Bank Cash Credit Card is the Capital One SavorOne card, which gives 3% on dining and entertainment, 2% on grocery store purchases, 1% everywhere else. That card is a $150 bonus if you spend $500 in the first 3 months versus the $200 that you could get here with TD Bank. So very close in terms of what these cards offer. If you are someone that doesn't want Capital One, or you can't get cards from Capital One, then this TD Bank Cash Card would be a good alternative to the SavorOne card. On the other hand, if you were a little unsure about TD Bank, or for whatever reason you didn't want this card but you wanted one that had similar features, the Capital One SavorOne card might be the place where you want to go. In terms of approval odds for the TD Bank Cash Visa, there's actually not a lot of data out there to tell us, sort of what the standards are from TD Bank in terms of approval. When we talk about TD Bank versus Capital One, I would guess that the Capital One SavorOne card is probably a little easier to be approved for than the TD Bank card, just because Capital One is more well known to deal with customers who maybe don't have quite as much of a credit history, where Most of the time, smaller banks have a little higher standard in terms of who they are willing to accept. But again, this is sort of, using generalizations here to give you an idea of what's probably true. We don't really have a lot of data to, really back it up. Not much more to say really about the TD Bank Cash Credit Card. If you're someone that wants a simple, no annual fee card that is going to give you cash back in multiple common categories, it is not a bad choice. Again, if you're someone that instead would be willing to handle multiple credit cards, you could actually do better on dining, better on groceries, and get enhanced rewards in other spending categories if you were willing to get multiple credit cards and kind of shuffle them a bit as you made your purchases. But if you just want one card, this is not a bad choice. A nice bonus that is easy to get of $200 after $500 in purchase. So you certainly would not go wrong with getting this card if simplicity is what you are looking for. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, please go to proudmoney.com, where we do credit card reviews, talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thank you for watching. Bye.